Since you are an author, how do you feel about the decision to sever the past lives from the story? To me, it's probably the most prominent element of this franchise's magic system, and while some people like the decision, I can't say I'm a fan of it. I enjoy the mix of lore and character building each interaction provided, but I'd love to know your thoughts. Unless you covered this before, then I can go looking, which I have not. Which I'm surprised I actually haven't gone over it, since that's, a lot of people's biggest argument for hating on Korra. Oh, she lost connection to the past lives. Yeah, so did Aang for a time. Now for Korra, let me go ahead and pull out my book because I'm going to try not to spoil my campaign. There is a line in Legend of Korra that I don't think we've ever really touched on.
There wasn't enough time.
Don't worry. We will be together for all of your lifetimes. And we will never give up.
So obviously Avatar is based on Eastern tradition. Rava specifically says we will be together for all of your lifetimes. And so we come down to the idea that reincarnation is not only because they are the Avatar. So the next step, I would suggest using Google and typing this in. Do Eastern religions teach reincarnation and remembering your past life? Depending on what religion you're looking at, there are varying opinions. So what does that mean for the Avatar? I think based on the connection to Rava and what Roku told Aang, it is a combination of all the past lives coming together. And we have to wrestle with the idea of Korra fighting in season 3 while she was poisoned. Because if she didn't have all the knowledge from her past lives, why was she so strong during that moment? Again, I'm running a campaign for my family in the Legend of Korra era, and I don't want to spoil it because my sister and my daughter watch my videos. But overall, I think there might still be a connection. Beginnings Part 1 and 2 came out in 2013, and I have thought about this ever since. And then it was strengthened when Korra lost her connection. I don't think it's as black and white, and so I think for me personally, while it was shocking initially, I don't think it's permanent. I think there's more to be said with the idea of what really is reincarnation in the Avatar universe and how Rava specifically fits into that for the Avatar. Even as I'm making this video, I think about the fact that she doesn't meet Toph until season 4, and Toph specifically calls her Twinkle Toes. Now, we don't get to see Toph's spiritual journey, but the fact that she's living in the swamp where that big tree is connected to the entire world tells me that there's a little more of a spiritual connection to the old lady compared to the little girl we all knew. And calling her Twinkle Toes is very specific, basically 3 years after she lost her connection. One of my favorite pages is Absolute Kyoshiism. If you haven't seen them, check them out. And within it, the spirit of the past avatars still do communicate with each other, even though Korra has lost her connection. And I believe they have kind of like the same idea that I'm tracking in terms of the overall Avatar universe. Overall thoughts, because I'm long-winded, I'm okay with it. I have a specific headcanon about it. And because of that headcanon and just some of the things that are said, I don't think it's permanent. And with Brian and Michael obviously being on for Seven Havens, we're clearly going to see Korra again. But I think it'd be very interesting if Korra was somehow, some way able to reconnect to the others, especially with the fact that we are told, at least in the Avatar comics, that spirits don't die, they just change form. So if Rava herself is the specific connection to the easy access to the past lives, then there's a possibility, since Rava didn't change forms, Rava still has a connection, and maybe along the way Korra and Rava figure it out. But again, headcanon, theory, not too upset about it. Don't think it's permanent. So, I hope that answers your question. I think we have to boil it down to the Avatar, the actual human, and Rava are two different beings. Two different beings that are fused together, and clearly it's stated that reincarnation is through the human spirit. But Rava was the access easily to the past lives. And Avatar has also shown through the books and the comics that obviously some characters are more spiritual than other avatars. So there's a possibility, like if we get another Yang Chen or another Aang down the road, could they potentially, through their spiritual teachings, be able to easily access parts of Rava that weren't accessed before. All right, this video is long enough. Y'all let me know in the comments what you all think. And success, I did not spoil my campaign.